about John. And the John that he's referring to is John Thompson, who played center for Providence College back in the 60s, and then was drafted by the Celtics, where he played in the NBA for a few years before going on as the head coach of Georgetown. And he was the head coach of Georgetown for many years, took them to the NCAA championship, also went on to coach the 1988 U.S. Olympic men's basketball team. So if you hear John mentioned throughout this podcast, just know that that is the John Thompson that Bill is referring to. Also, if you happen to hear Patrick used casually, that is Patrick Ewing, who was of Georgetown alumni and went on to play with some of the my favorite years of the Knicks, New York Knicks. So anyway, enjoy the episode. Of Georgetown alumni and went on to play with some of the my favorite years of the Knicks, New York Knicks. So anyway, enjoy the episode.
Lucky in a way that I had an older cousin, Jack Rice, who took me under his arm, and I go play baseball with him. I play basketball and everything. And we're relatively close. He lived maybe 10 minutes from me. My Uncle Francis, fireman, he lived 5 minutes from me. But I always have access. My cousin Jackie, he lived by Fairlawn Playground.
Okay.
So I could always go over there during the week and do that, And then my mom was a RN nurse. My dad worked in a factory. And a lot of times if I go over my cousin Jackie's house, I would basically have lunch over there. It was grandmother who would cook it.
Sure. It takes a village.
I remember my mother was asleep. I'll leave her alone. But basically, I got fortunate in that when I was in St. Peter and Paul, I was in 5th grade, and my cousin Jackie was in 8th. And they had a meeting about the baseball team. And somebody said I was pretty good. So they came down. Father Crawford, the principal, invited me up there. Then I basically was on the baseball team in 5th grade, which is amazing. You're 10 years old. Now here I am with the 5th grader playing with all 8th graders. The big thing with that was that basically my cousin was in 8th grade too. I started baseball in 5th grade, and I started as a shortstop. Basketball, I started basically grade school team. I played in an 8th grade team, started in 6th grade. But again, the same thing, I just went all the way through with that. And the big thing with that, I enjoyed doing it. So here I am, I'm playing Little League, second base at 10. And I'm playing shortstop on the 8th grade team at 10. It doesn't make sense.
It's crazy. Like when you get older, a couple of years is not a big deal. But when you're that age, that seems like a year seems like 10 years. Yeah, yeah.
I remember one of the games I played, I got a base hit, the base is loaded, right? But the year before, I did make 5 errors at shortstop. And then 6th grade, the coach switched me from shortstop to second base.
Yeah.
But after that, I played shortstop all the way through, pretty much.
Yeah, these kids are probably a foot taller than you at that age, right?
Yeah, at least a foot taller. Yeah. But it's nice, though, because my mother made, back then, every game you played, whether it was Little League or Babe Ruth or rec basketball, were in the paper.
Yeah.
So she could always, see, what's going on. My father would look at it, too. But one day, this was when I was 10, I went down to a game, and I wasn't feeling well. So my mom said, okay, you can go, but you're not playing. I said, okay, no problem, right? So I come home the next day, and she goes, Billy, what did you do yesterday? I said, no, she goes, you played. I said, she got 10 points. I said, oh.
She saw you in the paper.
In the paper.
Busted.
Back then, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they did. That's the way it was,
That's funny.
But in other words, at least everybody knew what you were doing.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut.
Waterbury.
Right.
Yep. And that's where, my parents were from. That's where they got married. Everything else was there,
Okay.
And I ended up going to, I said St. Peter Paul Grammar School. The public school, I went to kindergarten there, and that was closer than the Catholic school, but Mom and Dad Catholic.
Yeah.
You're going to parochial, so I had no problem with that. But no, it was all the way through. I was just lucky to be at the right place in the right time. Even like my freshman year in high school, I was on a varsity baseball. I played every single game. I would go in. Back then, you would play 9 innings. Here they all play 7.
Yeah.
So I go in, I do 7, 8, 9 on defense. Always, every game. And one game I started because the shortstop pitched, and then the third baseman played short, and I played third. But every other one, I played shortstop. Except, I guess Little League I did. When I was 12, I caught, we only had 1 year of it. And on that team, I was the catcher on it. Because I was catching for the boys club team, right? And he threw no-hitter championship.
Wow.
But it's just around stuff like that. The same guys that I'm in touch with now, I had the Little League picture in there. And so you get back and you see, guy Henry Lee, I basically reconnected with him about 5 years ago.
That's cool.
And he lives in the Cape now. And when we go to the Cape, I don't see him. We have lunch together. He went to Howard. He's a dentist. He retired. His dad was a dentist.
Okay.
But again, the Waterbury connection.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
With your playing athletics, do you think a lot of that was natural ability? Like, were you just born that way? Or do you think because you were involved from such a young age and your family loved it so much that you invested the time? Like, how do you think that ability came from?
Some was natural, not all of it. Some to be in the right place, right time.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I wasn't forced to play it.
Yeah.
My parents never complained I was going to a game. They'd give me a ride if I had to go. If I walk, I walk. But it was something where, and my uncle was really good.
Yeah.
And then I had my older cousin, Jack Rice, who would, if he went over to the playground to shoot, I'd go there. I'd go down to Hamilton Park, play baseball down there. But it's around association of people that played it. And the grammar school, like we had good teams. I had good coaches. I was fortunate to be on good teams where if you're playing and you lose, you say, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate. The teams that got out were good. The boys club were really good. They had a couple of guys that signed the majors out of there.
Wow.
So that was a good team. And then the summer you play against older guys too, in like Twilight League, something like that. But to me it was fun. I liked it. And I kid little kids now too. If I ever talk to them, I say, look, have fun. I'd never say to them after a game, oh, how'd you do today? I said, did you have fun?
Yeah.
And that's the key. If it's not fun, get out.
Yeah. Why are you doing this? Yeah.
It should be fun. Even like going to college, it was fun. I liked it there. I was lucky, and then when I went to Providence, I didn't have a scholarship. I went to my cousin Jackie was there. That's why I went there.
Followed him.
Yeah, but no, I went there.
Take me back to high school for a minute. Like, were you how did you do academically? So it sounds like you excelled at sports.
I graduated.
Yeah.
I graduated, but even like high school was interesting too. Academically, it's a good school. I really liked it there, and I still have friends, that went there, that were classmates. Like I was on a freshman, the varsity baseball team in high school. It's a freshman.
Yeah.
And I would always get in every game. The last 2 innings, one game I started. Because the shortstop was pitching. Basketball, I was on a varsity late in the year because they made the state tournament. So myself and another freshman went.
Okay.
We had a JV team, but I got out of varsity the last 2. But then I played every game for baseball, all my 4 years of high school. Same thing with basketball, every one. For baseball, I was better in baseball than I was in basketball.
Okay.
I believe that. But I went further in basketball.
Okay, interesting. Probably to your point, right place, right time.
Yeah,
circumstances.
It really is, But even like when I was with my cousin Jackie, unfortunately he passed away about 10 years ago. But he went to Providence, didn't go out for the basketball team. Made all tournament in Connecticut in the high school playoffs. Right?
Okay.
He didn't go out. Like he said, Billy, the only mistake I made, I didn't go out for Providence.
Mm.
He would have made it. He started a freshman team.
Yeah.
But basically, it was a one parent. So I didn't want to lose my academic scholarship.
Sure.
Right?
Got to focus.
Yeah, but that's what he did, though. So I said, I had 1B. 1B in 4 years.
Yeah.
He's an accounting major. So, no, but that was interesting. That's what he felt. That he wished he had done it. But again, somebody who was always supportive of me. Always.
Yeah.
That was like a big brother.
Yeah. Do you have any siblings?
Just my sister.
Okay.
She was 3 years younger than myself.
Okay. Yeah, buddies. How about, so take me to Providence. What did you study? Did you play sports in Providence?
Yes, I played basketball and baseball. I played both up there. I went up to the freshman team. I made it. I started on it. And then baseball, you could only play freshman. You couldn't play up. But I started shortstop on the freshman team.
Okay.
At Providence. And after the end of my freshman year, the baseball coach offered me a scholarship, tuition scholarship.
That's great.
For next year. Most baseball are like very few unless you're a pitcher or catcher.
Yeah.
But the other guys are infield players, right? And the thing same with basketball. Basketball was really interesting, though. John Thompson and I became very close. I mean, extremely close.
Yeah.
And it was funny. One time I was on a bus with a high school teammate, and they had a catalog with all the great high school players. Thompson's on the cover of the book, right? So we're riding. I said, "Wouldn't we like to play with a guy like that?" And here I am, a couple years later, playing with him.
That's funny. Where did he grow up?
He's from Washington, D.C.
Okay, D.C.
He's from D.C. And the thing was, we got along and became very good friends. There's a situation where didn't really talk much about personal stuff, neither one of us.
Okay.
So we got to know him as him. On the team, but he was passing the ball all the time, and I was passing the ball, really. I give it to him.
Yeah.
One game he got 52. So.
Oh, my God.
No, but that's why he hired me. He always said, well, I got 52. I had to hire him, right?
Yeah.
No, but we ended up becoming really, really close.
Yeah.
He passed away. I never knew he was sick. We would text most of the time. Every once in a while we'd call, right? No, so text each other back and forth. And then he called me on the phone, and he said, Billy, he said, what are our Providence teammates like? So I'll mention different guys. I said, well, what about this guy, that guy, that guy? So then we talked for about maybe 10, 15 minutes. Then he looked at me, he said, Bill, he said, first I have to go. He makes to do something. I said, that's fine, John, no problem, right? So about 3 days later, I sent Patrick Ewing a text. I said, how's Coach? He said, not doing well. And I never knew that. I didn't know that. And he said, Billy moved in with one of his sons. I said, okay. And then one of the sons, Ronnie, called and said, my dad passed away. I said, oh my God, he said, here's what your ranges are going to be. And so the funeral and whatever. And I said, because of the pandemic, I said, plus type 2 diabetic, I really can't make it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you asking me. But imagine he called me in that condition and died like maybe 10 days later.
He was saying goodbye to his friends.
Yeah.
Saying goodbye to people
that kind of picked my mind.
Yeah. Well, do you think he was like forgetting towards the end, like maybe some dementia or Alzheimer's?
No, absolutely not.
No, sharp.
Nobody has ever said what he died from. And I talk to Pat a lot. I text him. The same thing I did with John a lot too. But I never asked him one time what was wrong with Coach.
Yeah.
What did he buy from? I did not do that. I just let it go.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why John and I got along.
Yeah. Right.
We never got into other business.
Yeah.
It wasn't ours. It was even like if we would go to a basketball game and recruit, he'd sit one place, in the section. I sit a totally different place because you want either one of us to refer our opinion on them.
Sure.
We want that person to decide if this is a good player or wasn't a good player.
Didn't want to over-influence each other, yeah. Back when you were in Providence playing together, what positions? Were you a point guard? What position?
Yeah, another point guard.
Okay.
Another point guard. And really what happened was I went out for the varsity my sophomore year. But I already had a tuition scholarship for baseball, which is great.
Yeah.
So anyways, so what happens is they go to Madison Square Garden, play, right? And I was at home just working out down the boys club all the time. I mean the Y, right? I'm working out. And I go back to school. I get a call from the secretary. Coach Millay would like to speak to you. So I thought, okay. So I go down to his office, right? And he said, Bill, you want to come back on the team? All I said was, okay.
No questions asked.
No, I just said, okay, right? Yeah. And then I guess they were afraid. So they lost a couple of games in the Garden.
Okay.
When they went to the Crypto tournament. They were afraid John was going to leave. There's only one key person.
Yeah. His buddy.
Yeah, but they knew because we did a lot of stuff together. Like after practice, we'd go eat, like on a freshman team, and that's where we became really good friends. I was invited to his wedding. We graduated. Stayed pretty close. I went to see him play with the Garden, play with the Celtics.
Yeah,
but we stayed in touch. They were going to trade him to, I think, the Bulls or something like that, expansion team. He didn't want to do that, so he ended up retiring to go to St. Anthony's High School in D.C.
Okay,
and he took, he started coaching them. So I was involved with him then. I go down to D.C. trying to recruit kids when I was working coaching at Bryant to go up there. So we always stayed in touch all those years.
Yeah. How big of a guy was he? Was he a center at Providence when you guys were?
Oh yeah. He could play forward. He's 6'10".
6'10". Okay.
Yeah, but like my sophomore year, like Jimmy Hadnot was a year ahead of us. Jimmy's 6'10", so he had two 6'10" guys. out there.
Big boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them. You know, and John was more athletic probably than the other.
Sure.
But, you know, then he asked me to go to Georgetown with him. And I said, well, what's that like? And he said, well, they were 3-23. I said, shoot, John, we can't do worse than that.
Sounds like we got a lot of recruiting to do.
Yeah. But the thing was good, though. When I left, it was my decision. And basically, we're loaded. And the reason I have the ring, I recruited that whole team. They're doing a documentary. I interviewed for the documentary. I told you that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
4 hours downstairs sitting there asking those questions about all that stuff. But no, for me, it was fun. I liked it. I've always liked sports. And an interesting thing, my granddaughter is a good basketball player.
Yeah.
She's good.
I love watching her, yeah.
But she's not playing, right? She ended up making a team. After a week, she said, yeah, I got a job up. She works up at the hardware store. That's where she works.
Yeah.
I never ever said to her, are you going to play? I never asked her why she didn't play. I didn't say one word to her about that. That's it.
Does that go back to what you were saying about earlier? Like, do you want to have fun? Do you want to do it? Right? Is it that Grandpa wants you to do it, or do you want to do it?
Exactly. That's why I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want her to feel pressured to play. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I tell her, she started playing, she's a good player. And the thing with her that really I expect, a lot of times you see young kids playing, they bring their arms down. I told her, don't bring your arms down. You get a rebound, keep it up. Because you're tall, you throw it over, right? And she never brings her arms down. She always kept the ball up.
She's a tall kid, too.
Yeah, she's not. She might be. My wife, I told my wife, she's about 5'11".
Yeah.
Tall. But again, she's pretty set in her ways. But she wants to do it. She likes the job. She likes money.
Yeah.
That's the key. But her thing is, we're having a job, and then the basketball would interfere with her job. But the smart thing she did, she sent the head coach, assistant coach, an email. And said that, I decided not to play, and this is because I have a job, I really can't do it. And my thing, Leah, when you did that, you were smart, because if you just said quit, didn't say anything, by you saying that, if you ever decide to come back, they would probably take you. But if you walk out and don't tell them, you'll never get back to that team.
Yep, if you disappear and leave them hanging,
Yeah, don't say anything, just walk out. There are kids that do that.
Let's finish up Providence. You graduate Providence. Did you know you wanted to be a coach? Like, did you know that you were in the sports industry for life at that time?
I don't know about life.
Yeah.
I really think I want to coach. I had to go and get, U.S. history. I didn't have that in college. I minored in, education is a minor. I was an economics major. But I said, I need that course to teach in Connecticut. So that's what I did. I was teaching in elementary school, and I had the coach help the basketball coach, just volunteer with him, right?
Sure.
The team ended up winning the city championship. Would you want to coach here?
That was the start.
That was the start. And then, I'm in Lafayette Seminary, and I'm watching the game for Kansas Tech. We're supposed to be playing them. I'm watching him over there. So he comes over and says, the job at Eli Whitney's going to be open. Are you interested in that? So I said, yeah, I'm very interested in that, because they were a good team.
Sure.
So I took that. So that's how I got down there. And then when I'm in Eli Whitney, a friend of mine, we were playing in the New England Basketball League. He said, Billy, I'm taking over Providence. You want to come up there, assistant AD, and I need somebody who knows the matchup defense.
Yep.
So I said, okay, I'll go. So I'm up there with Tommy 4 years, right? I follow you up in Bryant, and I get a phone call from Thompson. John said, Billy, I'm up in Providence. He said, do you want to have lunch? I said, yeah, because he was overseeing Dave Gavitt, who ended up being the commissioner of the other one. But he was assistant AD at Bryant, Providence. But anyway, so then he comes up. He said, look, I'm taking over. I'll do with him for 4. Then John makes a phone call. Billy says, are we interested in coming to Georgetown with me? I said, John, what was the record? They were 3-23. I said, shoot, John, we can't do worse than that. But the thing was nice, though, when I left the Georgetown for 10, right? Basically, he had asked me, even after I left, he asked, will you come with me for the Olympics? So I said I would.
Yeah.
So I was an assistant with the Olympics. But no, it was good up there. I liked it, but I felt it was time for me to go. When I left, that cupboard was full.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah.
That was Ewing, the Wingate, Reggie Williams. Those guys were all recruits. Those are my recruits, all of them.
That's incredible. So what year did you move down there and start coaching?
72 to 82. I was at Bryant from 68 to 72.
Very cool. So you went in there 3-23. What were some of the records the 10 years you were there? Did you guys get some winning records?
Oh, we were loaded.
Yeah.
No, when I left, the house was full.
Yeah.
It was full. First year there, we were like 13, 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, Lou was at 12, 13, and 12, 14. And after that, bang, we just kept going.
Turned it around.
Totally turned it around. Because like our third year, we were in the NCAA tournament.
That's incredible. Tell me the Patrick Ewing story. By the way, I will tell you, when I was in college, my roommate and I were huge Knicks fans, and it was the Ewing errors, like the John Stark and Ewing. Where did you find Patrick? Where was he playing? When did you meet him? How did you recruit him?
Oh, God. I was talking to John about it. And Mike Jarvis was his high school coach.
Okay.
And I was talking to John about him. I said, John, Jarvis was the assistant for Sash Sanders when Sash was at Harvard, the basketball coach.
Okay.
Right? And I said, I got this kid Ewing, who's 7'2". I said, I think you got a shot at him because of Noah Sanders.
Sure.
You're a Celtic, right? So I said, no. I said, I'm telling you, I think we got a shot, right? So anyways, we're recruiting a kid from up in Boston too. He went to Boston English. Ewing's game is playing the second game in there, right? We go up there, and so we go by Arbeck's office. So then we have lunch with Arbeck, right? So then we go to the game that night. So the table. So anyway, so we go there, and that's where we sit. The guy's going for a shot. Patrick blocked it. Patrick blocks the shot. His teammates go for a leg, missed it. Patrick dunked it. He dunked it, right?
Right over him.
Yeah. So John said to me, he said, get him. I said, no problem. But we recruited him. I recruited him, and the whole thing was, you go to Jarvis, never call the house. Never. You get in touch with Jarvis. And don't go around him. And so everybody was trying to go around him. But the big thing was, when we went to see him play, too, Patrick looked at John like eye to eye. He was coming out of the locker room after the game. But they were right here.
Yeah.
And I said, we have a chance from him. But everything I did through Jarvis. Not one time did I ever recruit. I would call him at home. Most of the time he's not home. But I would talk to his wife Connie on the phone. Right? I always did that. And, she would talk to the breed and stuff. And I thought, if they think I'm a halfway decent guy, we got a shot.
Yeah.
Right? I did the same thing with Reggie Williams that went to Dunbar. Okay? And the first kid we recruited from Dunbar was Kid Hopkins. And Wade was the coach. Wade was like, he played in the NFL a little bit, big and hell, right? Not really nice, but I would call his house. Most of those guys aren't home.
Yeah.
But I would talk to his wife on the phone all the time. Same
Interesting.
thing. So I got to know the wife, and it's almost like you recruit a kid. You recruit the mother. If the father,
family.
You don't need the father. If it's a woman, you recruit the father.
Yeah.
No, but relationships like that.
Yeah.
And so really we would get more kids out of Dunbar. You're selling a product. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. You're selling your program, right? Michael Jackson, he was from Virginia, right where I lived. And I'd go to his high school games after on my way home from. We used to practice 4:30, 7:30. So I go to his games after. Mother would come down and talk to me and sideline.
Yeah.
Right? I said, listen, I can't talk to you. I said, I can call you on the phone, but I said, I can't talk to you at the game because you're not supposed to bother the parents.
Okay.
But that was the thing with Jackson. That's ended up how we got Michael Jackson because he's a point guard. And he could pass. Oh my God, he could pass. You know what? I'm not kidding because I think the thing with Jackson, all his passes were soft. Even if it wasn't a bullet, it was soft passes.
But accurate.
Yeah, but we got it. Coach Thompson's wife at the time, Gwen, Michael's mother, said that you and John had the best rapport with each other than any other coach that communicated with Michael.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, and that's really what they're looking at, right? So whether it's their parents or their high school coaches, they're looking for coaches that are going to understand their kids, take good care of them, use them the right way.
Yep. It wasn't a thing where I knew my role. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just role coaching if you're trying to get another job in another place. Like, you're not being loyal to the guy you're working for.
They're looking for the next job rather than be great at the one that they're in.
Right. It's a loyalty thing.
Yeah.
And the business isn't like that. It's worse now with all the new NCAA rules they put in.
Sure.
With the transfer portal, that's a disgrace because there's no loyalty. Like, I felt bad for Patrick. He lost the big kid. Another school recruited the big kid. so they could take them.
Yeah.
You didn't need, before the rule was that you need permission for the kid to leave.
Right.
Now they need permission. Now all of a sudden you got the transfer portal, which to me is a disgrace. Now the NIL is worse than ever because alumni are giving kids money. The kid from UConn is making like $1 million.
Ritz crackers,
He's making $1 million a year, plus some other money. Plus they're getting all the money paid from school. An additional money. That's not amateur anymore.
No.
That's pro. They're taking it down. There probably won't even be a college game anymore. And can you imagine a school like St. Peter's paying a kid $1 million to come there? They don't have that kind of alumni going to give you that money.
No.
They don't care about basketball that much.
It's sad. I feel like it's all changed, even professional sports. When I grew up, I was born in 74, so like the 70s and 80s, the teams, the same players were there for 10 years, and not. So I was a Jets fan, and you liked all the players, but now it's all free agency and big money, and like you're lucky if you can keep the players for a couple of years.
It's hard. It's hard. How do you recruit? How do you build a program where somebody's out there looking to steal your player?
Yeah, always evolve.
Somebody was saying they think that Coach Villanova left because of that. He wasn't going to put up with that nonsense.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Right. A lot of guys cheated before. Guys got caught, but the other guy just kept doing it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's sad, but the game is, the NCAA put that transfer portal thing in, put that rule in, that game.
Yeah.
The game can't keep going. Then he just put the NIL in, where the kids can get money. I heard that Kansas supposedly gave out $4 million. $4 million.
Wow.
Alumni gave him money to get some player, and they sucked at the end of the year.
Yeah.
No, you know what
money
I'm saying?
can't buy everything, right? The team cohesion, how the guys play together.
Yeah. But they got the other kid supposed to lead for them too, the guard. He's supposed to go NBA maybe, but that's different though. You know what I'm saying?
Moving from school up to the.
Yeah, but some guys have transferred like 5 times.
Yeah.
You know, you used to be able to transfer once, and that was it. You know, 5 times guys are leaving.
Yeah, it's hard to build anything when you just have
you can't. The guy's standing there trying to pick your kid. Now he made it illegal. I left the coach of Providence a message in there. But my thing was that I respect what he did. He said, you know, the portal transfer is fine, but the NIL, he said, I cannot ask my alumni to give me that kind of money in a bidding situation with some player. You know, if I said I can give you this, you know what? So be it. That's what you have to do. You can't. You don't have. Every school doesn't have that kind of money. Yeah. And I just think it's ruining the game. They're not going to be. It's really not professional anymore. If outside people are paying your players above their scholarship. Yeah. That's not it. So
it's changed. Take me back. Like, I'm curious of your coaching philosophy. Like, how do you approach coaching? How do you look at kids with not a lot of experience but a lot of potential, and philosophically, how do you do it?
You gamble.
Yeah, take bets on people.
No, you gamble. I give you. There was a kid in D.C. that John was. The kid ended up not coming. So anyways, we're going down. There's a local kid to North Carolina. A friend of John's called my phone. He said, there's a kid, Eric Floyd, down here. He's a really good player. And the thing is, so what happens is, we fly down to Charlotte, North Carolina, to see Eric, or Gastonia, North Carolina, to see Eric play, right? John goes into the high school and talking to people about Eric. He didn't see him in the gym. I was in the gym. We were in the wire right next to the building, next to right, just watching him, right? Just watch him shoot, stuff like that. So John comes out and he said, what do you think? I said, John, he could shoot. He's not making shots, but he could shoot like hell. But they're not making them. So anyway, we go back home, and so John's ready, to offer him a scholarship and everything. And then we find out his sister was at Howard. His older sister. Okay. I said, John, now we have another bonus. I said, his sister's at Howard. So now if he comes to Georgetown, his sister's right there, which is perfect.
Yeah. Keep the family close.
Yeah. But they're close. So anyways, he basically ends up, coming to Georgetown. Ended up a great player. Played in the NBA about 14 years.
Wow.
And I went to see him play. And, I said, Eric, you know what's amazing? I said, here you are in the NBA, you make your all-star team. The point guard, worst point guard we ever had. He started that because John Thurman was the point guard back then. Yeah. So Eric was the 2. But NBA, he's 6'4". They made him a point guard. Yeah. But it's like it's the whole thing of recruiting. You don't know. You just hope somebody's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
You can't tell. You get a guy that's supposed to be really good. And that's why when we recruited, we never look at somebody and start giving our opinion. Then, you go see him and you make your opinion, what you think. You have to be lucky, too. I mean, if you say that, Eric would have been that good in college, I'd be a liar. Like Eric Smith was a local player that came, and he became a Georgetown and solid. I mean, solid player. So, I mean, he could pass, he could shoot, but very solid. And again, he almost would be like a three-man, a three-shooter. He could play 1-3.
Yeah.
Because he could pass, he could handle, he could do other things too. But that type of kid, if you thought he would have been that good, started Georgetown all those 4 years, I'd be a liar.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's a gamble. It's always a gamble, no matter who you get. Even the NBA, they put all this money on some guy. The guy doesn't make it.
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
So you've got the skill, right? The shooting and passing and dribbling. Do you think, going back to college, are you looking at character or like team fit? Like, hey, this guy's great at shooting, but he's going to disrupt all the other players. Like, does that come into the equation?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. You look at what type of person he is. Because you don't need a problem at all.
Yeah.
But you look at that. Will this kid fit into the system?
Yeah.
Or is he not going to fit this? Who did this kid listen to? They're going to be loyal to the coach.
Yeah.
Believe me. And if you're not loyal, then it's time to go. I mean, there are players John asked to leave. This honestly got a true story too, right? There was a kid that was coming. He was coming from a junior college, local kid, right? So anyways, what happened was, this is funny, but this is how we would do stuff. Was supposed to be at the class that missed it, right? Then missed another class. All of a sudden, John said, Billy, get his stuff out of the locker room. He's done. I took his practice stuff off. I took his shoes out. We had a bench with his name on it. I took it home. I took it off.
Wow.
That was it. He was out. Done.
No messing around. No second chances.
No.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. If that happens. I mean, if the kid was late for class in the morning, we may start practice at 5. Because everybody starts. If one guy messes up, you all mess up.
Yeah. It's almost like the military, right? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing was with it was something. You just can't treat kids different like that.
That's right.
They have to be bing, bing, bing. And if one guy does it, somebody else is going to do it. Then somebody else is going to do it. That was the system, though. I mean, it worked. The kids are loyal to him. I mean, since he passed, same thing. Always put John in the highest esteem. Every single one of those guys.
Yeah, I bet his service was loaded with players. Tell me about the Olympic team. What year was that? Tell me about that involvement. Where did you go? Tell me more about the Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics was he called me on the phone at midnight once, and he said, "I'm going to be the head coach of the Olympics. You want to come with me?" He's one of my assistants. I said, "Well, let me hope." I got to check, and I got to check with my wife.
I check with the boss.
Yeah, right. But anyway, I called Father Glenn. I said, "John asked me, to be one of the assistants for the Olympics in Seoul." He said, "Okay." So he said, "You can do it." So I said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" Because I got to go see different teams play all around the country.
Yep.
He said, I would travel around to see all the different colleges play. I'd do that. I'd see them and different players would recommend guys. And there's a kid, Marley, that ended up being on the Olympic team, right? And he had other guys with bigger names in it, but he was from Central Michigan. So I said to John, I said, "I'll tell you what," I said, I've been down in Norfolk watching these seniors play, and then John came down a few later. I met Russell there too.
Okay.
I sat next to him, we talked, and we were watching these guys play. And so I said, "John," I said, "there's a kid here that is one tough son of a gun." I said, "Son of a bitch." No, I said, "One tough guy, all right?" And I said, "The kid Marley, he's from Central Michigan. He just goes, hit you, won't even look back at you. Won't even look back, right?" That's how he got in the Olympic team.
Wow, just the grit, just the grind.
Yeah, just a tough kid. That's how he got invited to it. I mean, if I didn't tell John to invite him, they probably wouldn't have got invited. That's a little power, no?
Yeah. Well, he trusts you because of what you did with him earlier.
Yeah, but I mean, the big thing was, with him, he respected my opinion.
Yeah.
And a big thing, too, is I think as an assistant coach, you know your role. Like, when he does something, you sit and you listen. You don't say anything. If he asks you, you tell him. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't. Like, a big thing you had, too, and I'll tell guys this, that are assistant coach, there's a big thing you want to do is the head coach, like, like in practice, is that, we did it so it's like, okay, it'd be a situation where you're doing something. You don't tell him at that time, oh, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? You don't do it. You do it upstairs in the office.
Yeah.
You want to try this, you want to try that, or this person might be better than that than the other person. Because if you start making suggestions to him, the players are going to question who's running the team.
Yep.
So that was a little thing. But I mean, because I watched guys do it, because when I was at AD St. Peter's, I was telling this is the head coach, man, that guy talks too much. All he does is every time you do something, he got to show. I had 10 seconds. You say what you got to say and get out. The way it worked on there, whatever he would be, I'd say if he did offense, I did defense, and vice versa.
Sure.
And if I started practice, it'd be how we want. You want to start on defense, or you want to start offense, and that's the drills we do at the beginning. But it has to be where you're always not trying to get over him. And
somebody has to be in charge.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Especially that big.
Yeah. What was his disposition like, John? Was he nice and affable? Was he stern? Like, was he no nonsense?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on the situation.
It can change the daytime. But you got to know him. I figure if you finish a game, I'm not going to go and bother him with something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to monitor any suggestion about any game. And what would happen is he'd take the film home, right, and look at it. I'd look at it the next day. And then we'd have a meeting. And then he would say something, and he'd say, what do you think about this? That's different. But never, in a situation where you're in practice, oh, John, why don't you try this? Don't go like that. The only time I whispered to him was during the Olympics. Yeah, Mitch Richmond, if I remember him a little bit. Okay, yeah. Okay. And what happened was he was trying to run this play, a C play or something like that, I forget it. And right late in the game, we're going to do like a halftime, right? So anyways, he's doing a thing, and I was standing next to him. I said, John, why don't you try to let Marley do that? Because, and I think Mitch is always screwing with the ball. He's turning this, he's turning that. Marley just thinks he's going to go to the hole. Marley's not going to have to try back and shit forth. Anyway, like, all of a sudden, Marley, he said, run that spot right there. Marley ran it. So anyways, we get over, we're playing the game right at the end of halftime. Marley got a layup. Mitch Richmond would have gone for a jump shot. Yeah. Marley got it from there, went right to the hole. He was like a linebacker. Yeah. Right? No, he just went drove. Yeah. So, I mean, again, if where you do it, where you don't do it. Never on the floor with the kids. I'll tell you one thing he did that was amazing, too. He had a great reading and great mind, too. Great mind. Anyways, we're getting ready to play Villanova. He said, okay, Billy, go out, do Villanova stuff. So I said, all right, so I'm running Villanova. He goes, blank Villanova. Let's go. Right? But he had all the team up there. He did. I didn't know he was going to do it. Yeah. I had no idea he was going to do it. But that's the way he was, though. I mean, he'd come to practice and be hiding behind the curtain. Stuff like that. You know, and you're ready, I blow the whistle, we go. But he was always there. He could be peeping out the door. He could be behind the curtain. But he wanted to know that those guys would react if he's not there. Yeah.
There's a method to his madness.
Yeah, there is. There always was. Yeah.
Does the system work without him, right? Because he's created a system, and does it work when he's not in the room?
Right. And you got to trust the guys that are there. They're going to do what they're supposed to do and not go off on their own.
Yeah. With the Olympics, how many guys do you bring over to Korea?
I thought we might have 13. Okay. I think possibly. Exactly not, maybe 12 or 13.
Sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And were they from all over the country?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. How did we do? I don't remember going back to '88. How did the U.S. team do that year?
We did well. What hurt us, we ended up coming in third, but we were playing China. Hertie Hawkins got hurt, the best shooter. He didn't play. And so John said, look, I am not playing him. He's got an NBA career down the road. And I'm not ruining him, because of a knee. So, we ended up losing lost to Russia. Well, you hate doing that. So then we were in the semis. In that game, he told me, he said, look, he said, we come out, we're playing so-and-so. Don't come out here and dog it. Your NBA career is not on the line if you dog it.
Yeah.
That's what he told him. He said, I'll tell them if you're dogging here. You come here, you play hard. And if you don't think I'll do it, then go ahead and do it. Mess up.
Have you traveled in your life a lot prior to that? Was that your first trip out of the country or first trip to Asia?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Because even when I was at Georgetown, we basically, we'd play in San Diego and places like that, but not
domestic.
Not out of the country, no.
Yeah.
No, that was different.
Very cool. When did you move up to St. Peter's? Because was that the job right after Georgetown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was up with Father Glenn and kidding him. I said, Father, I can't really start up here until after the Final Four.
Oh, yeah.
We lost in the Final Four.
Yeah.
That was it.
And that was the early 80s when it came up?
88 Olympics.
Yeah. Very cool. And then tell me about the St. Peter's journey. So what role, when you first came to St. Peter's, what job was that for?
Director of athletics.
Okay, athletic director.
And that's the director of athletics.
Yeah. So
nothing else. Yeah.
20 plus years, right?
26.
Wow.
Full time, and then I worked 2 years fundraising for them.
Okay.
I only raised about $3 million.
Okay, is that all? Yeah, slacker.
That was a bad year.
That's great.
And that was all part time. I didn't want to go full time, but I had an offer from Academy Bus Company because that's what we use for our games. Right?
Okay.
So I think he called me up and said, Billy, can I interview? I said, yeah, how come I have lunch with you, right? So he goes, would you like? We're going to open up a plant, down in D.C. A bus company down there, so would you be interested in going there? I said, no, I'm not full time.
Yeah.
I said, you want me to volunteer? I'll volunteer. He said, well, would I be a consultant? I said, well, let me think. I said, consultant. That's what I did. I did it for them for like a year, 2 years. They did that.
Okay.
And I called out my house.
And you did it on your own terms, right? Do it as much as you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, like, if I write a letter, that's $300.
Yeah.
One phone call, $300.
Yeah.
That was it. And that's what I did. I did it for 2 years with them. So and then I finally said, I'm done. Then I was volunteering with Liberty High School, boys basketball. And then I did that for about 5.
It's a long career of it all. So at St. Peter's, tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about some of the programs you built, some of the players you recruited. Did you do coaching, or were you just running all the programs?
Just run the program. I didn't coach at all. Down there. Like, I fundraised for them. The biggest thing I did was we had 14 acres of land, which I got for $1.
Really?
I got for $1. No, I'm sorry, it was 10. It was 14. The county took some back without telling us. That was it. We have our own field. That was baseball, the baseball, softball, soccer. We built it. Mrs. Jaroszak, and she gave $750,000 to build the field.
Oh, wow.
So that's what we built it. It's a mile from school.
Downtown Jersey City, right?
No. Yeah, it's just Jersey City. It's on the outskirts almost.
Yeah.
It's almost not even a suburb, but you're leaving Jersey City.
Yeah.
That's it. Once you get out of there, you're heading into another town over there. But no, that was the biggest thing, the money. And then she would give every month. The agreement was with the field, I told the county, okay, we are the primary tenants of the field.
Yeah.
From May until August, town can use it. People want it, I'll let them use it. The high school want to play games there, they could play games in there, but I turned priority. But I'm not moving any of our games for that.
Yeah.
So that we did it. So basically the field was there, but it could be used for other high schools in the area. And it worked out well, because there's no land there. Where are you going to go?
Yeah,
no place to play.
It's in the city. Did St. Peter's get revenue from that? Like,
no,
if the town? Okay.
No, we don't get 1 penny for that. We paid $750,000 for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she passed away a few years ago, Miss Jaroszak.
Yeah.
But she was interested. I got to know her pretty well. I basically almost became the only contact she had at St. Peter's with her.
Okay.
With her.
So she left a legacy.
Yeah, she did. Her name is on it. One time she stopped by. The kids from Hudson County could use the Hudson County schools play there. In the summertime, I don't care who plays there. They're not my problem anymore.
Sure, right.
It didn't bother me.
As long as you've got insurance, for injuries.
When I got them, I said, well, the big thing is that, insurance, but wrote the thing up. You got the firemen, the police, all these people have been able to use the field.
Yeah.
Just so I put all the people using it besides us.
Yep.
In the high schools. Yeah. Rather than the conflict that we were playing.
Yeah. I guess you get a good accountant. He could there's got to be some tax benefits to doing something like that, I'm sure.
Through school?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. So let's shift gears. I feel like that's a good, for everybody out there. Bill showed me a couple of diaries that his mother would keep of every single time he was mentioned in the newspaper, and there's photos of sports and all of that. So growing up, your family, were you close with your mom and your sister and your dad? Did you guys vacation or what?
Yeah, always vacation.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks we go down to Milford to the beach.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, we were close, very, very close. My sister's 3 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
You know, they're about close. Our family pretty much. I think it was nice too. You had, our family, then my uncle and his kids were probably about 5 minutes away. My cousin Jackie, and his family, his mom, his brother, sister, they were maybe, say, 15 minutes away.
That's great.
On a bike, I get there, but we're always close. Cousin Jackie and I is like my brother. He's older than me. Interesting thing with Father Crawford too. He came in to me one day. He goes, "Billy, we have to take a ride. We're going to Beaner Sports Show." He said, "You have to go pick out a bat. You're only 10. You can't really swing the bat. The 8th graders are 14 years old." So Father Crawford took me down. He's a really nice man. He was so nice. Yeah. He had been somebody who was a chaplain like in the military and had an injury from the back or something. He might have got shot or something like that. Yeah, but extremely nice principal. But he looked after me too.
Yeah. Well, you talked about going to parochial schools. You were an athletic director at a Catholic school. Talk to me about religion in your life. So as a child, was that a big part of your life?
Oh yeah, growing up.
Yeah.
All the way up. Because I was always at a Catholic school. Except for kindergarten. We didn't have a kindergarten.
Yeah. No,
it was always big. Big on my parents. My parents very involved religiously. So my relatives are pretty much all Catholic, unless somebody married in and somebody isn't one. But no, we're Catholic. Very
Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah, very very Catholic. Indoctrination. No, but I still practice it now. Jan converted. But I never ever said one word to her about converting.
Sure.
Never.
Everybody's got to find their own faith journey, right?
Yeah,
it's got to be genuine to them.
They do. I mean, there are people who are Catholics aren't Catholics anymore.
Sure.
They're not. They can be Baptist, they be whatever they want to be, but that's their choice. Yeah. If you want to be it, you be it. The thing now that bothers you or worries you a little bit is a lot of kids growing up don't think that very early. They think about like religion, going to church if they go to church or whatever they do. A good thing online though, because now you can do it online. You don't have to go. The pandemic started all that. I do it online. St. Ian down the street doesn't even do it. So I've been catching up. I usually go like probably about 5 o'clock or something like that. I'll put on Catholic Sunday Mass. Sure. Right, and they'll put that up. And the Mass might have been on Friday, but they could their Sunday Mass. Yeah,
it's interesting. So you've never had how has your faith changed, if at all? It sounds like it's been pretty steady and pretty consistent throughout your life. Any moments in your life of doubt about the Catholicism or teachings or crisis of faith?
Not really. I mean, every once in a while you get a priest in there who changes over or whatever. Even like one priest that when I was at St. Bridget in Cheshire, that he ended up leaving and getting married. There are some that that doesn't bother me. I care less. It's none of my business. That's none of my business. Yeah. So I never really give an opinion on it. They leave.
Yeah. Everything changes.
Stay out of trouble like that.
Yeah. Well, that's how you survived with the coaching, right? Mind your own business.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you want my help, you got my number.
Yeah, exactly. You ask. I know. You don't need my opinion unless you want it. I know. I have to remember that.
President St. Peter, I say, I'm 5 buildings away from him. If he wants me, he can call me. Yeah. Because I'm not going up there.
Yeah.
Father Glenn and I were really good friends too, though. Because I remember he was the faculty rep at Georgetown when I was there.
Okay.
That's how I met him. And then he became, later became the president of St. Peter's. And that job, he called me interested. Man, knocking this door. I'm trying to get out of this business. I tried recruiting and all that stuff. But now recruiting's not as bad. Yeah. Then you used to be on the road all the time.
Yeah. Everything's changed with the internet and videos and digital. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's totally changed. Because people back then when you first started, you had school who would leave people. If you're recruiting a player, they'd have that kid to rent the hotel at the time where the kid lived. They can't do that anymore. Yeah. They just go offer money outside.
Yeah. A little suitcase of cash.
Yeah, that's what it was. So,
talk to me about your marriage. When did you guys meet? What year did you get married? How did you guys meet?
got married in 73.
Okay.
Probably met in 72.
Okay.
I was at Bryant. I was at Bryant College.
Okay.
Jan was working in the library.
Oh, at school?
Yeah, I said, where does it go over here? I said, let me go check this one out. Yeah, I was at Bryant. I met her. She was she worked in the library.
Okay, very cool.
I'm so academic.
Yeah, exactly. You were just there checking out the ladies.
That was it. You know, it's really funny because they're the best place I've ever been in my life. You been out of San Diego?
Yeah, it's
that's the best.
Southern California is the best weather. Yeah.
Oh, it is because it's always like maybe 80 in the summer. Right, never go below 60 in the winter. Yeah, right? Yeah. No. I love that. The other thing was flying all the time. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's an expensive place to live, but gorgeous.
Wow, all California.
Yeah.
Except you got LA now and San Francisco. You got whack jobs running those places.
Yeah. It's
totally out of control.
They're losing a lot of residents. A lot of California residents are bailing.
New York
Taxes,
too.
Yeah.
Same with New York. There are a lot of them coming up here. God damn it, stay out of here.
Yeah, a lot of migrants. Let people leave New Jersey, New York, California, and they're all heading south. The Carolinas, Tennessee, Texas.
We're getting some of the Jersey people up. A lot of New Jersey plates up here lately.
Yeah,
license plates. But they're building tons of all new houses up the street from here.
Yeah.
Big houses. These aren't little houses either. These are big. This is small compared to what's out there.
Yeah. The development doesn't stop. A lot of the cops in our neighborhood moved to Delaware.
Okay.
You know, because it's close enough. The taxes are like half of what they are in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And our old neighbor, who is a chief of police for Rockaway Borough, moved down to Delaware, and a whole community of all first responders. So there's, cops, firemen, EMT, very safe neighborhood, low cost of living, and then still close enough, right? If you have family or grandkids, you'll kind of come back and see them. So very cool. So you and Janice, you get married in the early 70s. Talk to me about marriage and kids, and where did you guys live when you first got married?
We lived in an apartment.
Okay.
Down there, D.C.
Oh, okay.
When we got married, she moved to D.C., so we lived down there in Virginia. Then after a couple of years, we bought a house out in Sterling, Virginia. Okay, once I got the job at St. Peter's, 82 through whatever, Denville, New Jersey, really nice. We went to Stanhope. We lived there for 16 years. And then we left Stanhope, we came up here. What's the cost of living? I mean, taxes up here are like $5,000.
Yeah.
Down there, you're talking $14,000, $16,000.
Yeah.
Jan said we could never still live there.
Yeah. It's crazy. When you're retired and you're on some kind of a fixed income, it's impossible.
Yeah.
New Jersey is very tough. Hey, you were an economics major, by the way. Do you have any favorite economists or like any school of thought?
Yeah, was it Paul Simpson? That's his name.
Okay.
Is that him?
Yeah. I like you probably remember Milton Friedman.
Okay,
Milton Friedman. He was like Chicago School of Economics. He's one of my favorites. I love Tom Sowell. I don't know if you've ever read any Tom Sowell books, but he's my all-time favorite economist.
Okay.
But he's just very common sense, and he dumbs it down to everyday language, so people like me can understand what the heck he's talking about conceptually. Talk to me about your life and politics. So if you could even remember, so when you're a young man, you're in college, have your political views changed over the last 60 years of your life, and how so?
I really don't care about them, don't like them, want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that bothered me is when I'm watching it now. A lot of things, like, it's almost, I changed to Republican. It's almost a situation where you're just watching who's in now, the Schumers and all the people that did it for 50 years, and I'm out of that. But as publicly, I don't say a goddamn word.
The system
probably shoots you.
I'm telling you, the system is so broken. I don't like either of them. I think both the Republican and Democrat parties are both corrupted. I hate the whole idea of lobbying. That just seems like bribery. Like, why do we call it something different, right?
Yeah, that's what it is pretty much.
Yeah. Money. You got to get money out of politics, and I don't know. I think it's too far gone.
Yeah, I think so. Very few of them will say, "Oh no, I don't agree with that." They don't do it. I try to avoid it. I think my parents were Democrat. I'm pretty sure they were. Most people want to be Democrat, but I never got involved in it. Never. I want nothing to do with it.
Connecticut.
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, New Jersey has a law where if you want to vote in the primaries, you can only vote for your registered party. Mm-hmm. So I've switched over the years. I've gone Democrat, Republican, Democrat, just so I can actually vote. But I don't with any particular party at all. I just want, to be honest, I just want a good human being. I want an accountant with a moral fiber. That's it. Let's like not spend billions and trillions of dollars blowing up poor people in other parts of the world.
No, I have a party. I vote where I want to vote.
Yeah.
If I don't like, I'm not going to vote for him. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to vote for the person I want. The hell with that.
I know.
I'm registered, but I'll be damned. But then I can tell me I got to vote for this one.
Yeah.
I'll vote for what I want to vote for.
Yeah. I've written in people that I know it's a throwaway, but, but like I know I can sleep at night knowing that I didn't vote, particular way.
Right, yeah. My own opinion.
Yeah.
They don't sway me, so.
That's what, I feel like we need to be more independent as Americans. Like, don't put us in a bucket. Like, don't put us in a, right or left wing. Don't put us in a gay category, a black and white vote. Don't put us in a senior citizen category. Like, be independent.
Yeah.
Use your own voice and think for yourself.
You have to think for yourself.
I know.
Vote for whoever you want. You put on a ballot who you want to vote for. And nobody's going to tell you. In there, you're not going to say who you vote for.
Exactly. Assuming the elections are fair, but you've got to, it is what it is. You got to do your best and use your voice as best you can.
Yep.
So talk to me about becoming a father. We're going back to early years. How old were you when you started having your children?
Okay, I got married when I was 31.
Okay.
So probably about 32 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But both of us growing up just try to treat them fair. Try to keep them the same.
Sure.
We both started, John started, when he moved here, John was in Catholic school. He went to St. Mary's in Denville.
Okay.
Then Mark went pretty much public.
You guys lived in Denville for a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I moved up here, we moved to New Jersey. We bought a house in Denville.
So growing up, the boys, did they play sports when they were young? Were you involved?
They did in a way. Mark, they both played, Mark played Little League soccer. John played baseball too. Then Mark ended up, John stopped like after a couple of years. Mark stayed until Mark played the league above it in Denville.
Okay.
And then the high school, he didn't go out at all. He stopped. But then he played soccer too. So John didn't play soccer. John might have played soccer a little bit, but Mark was almost like a different level than him, even though a little bit younger. But both of them did play soccer.
Yeah.
And John played baseball maybe 1 year or something like that.
Okay. And was your approach with them the same as it is with like Leah? Like you didn't want to push them or force them to do anything? They just let them find their own paths?
Yeah. I said, if you want to go down and hit, I take you down and hit.
Yeah.
We had a basket in the yard so they could shoot. That was right in the driveway. Then they sold that property, but we moved anyway. So they sold that. No, I never really pushed them.
Becoming a father, how were you as a father? Were you stern? Were you strict? Were you trying to like embed lessons in the boys as they were growing up? How were they as kids?
They're normal kids.
Yeah.
No, not really. Jan's tougher. She said I was too loose with them.
Yeah. Well, you need a good cop, bad cop, right?
That's right. He was the good cop.
Yeah.
She was the bad cop. I was the good cop.
Yeah. Dad, Mom's screaming at us.
Yeah.
It's hard. Boys are tough, for sure.
Girls are probably tougher. We didn't have a girl.
Yeah. I don't know any different, right? We only have girls. And actually, your granddaughters are all girls. And, that's all we know. And I can't imagine anything else at this point. Some days could be tough and dramatic, and other days are just beautiful, right? They're much more loving when they're loving. But,
I think girls are harder because I think they're more temperamental.
Sure. A lot of emotions flowing through that house, I know.
Yeah, guys just walk out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, a lot of that stuff. So I think they'd be hard.
Yeah.
I think they'd be hard because I think even with the three girls, it's you treat them the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How different did you find it becoming a grandfather as opposed to a father?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think grandfather, you both of you, I think at times you miss them. You don't see them.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, I think. There's a time you don't see them for a while. We may never see these guys for 3 weeks, but they have other things to do.
Yeah, busy lives.
Yeah, they're both working. Their kids have their own, whether they're in, if they're in the scouts, if they're in, cheerleading or gym or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, they all go different ways. society now, because there weren't a lot of stuff for girls. There were the dance groups. Now there's all different kinds of dance groups, and they still can play soccer. They still can play softball, which years ago they couldn't do all that stuff. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
They have kids now have more options. And the worst thing ever is the goddamn phone.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst ever.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like that all the time. But worse than me.
Yeah.
But no, they're always on that phone. Oh my God.
It's funny. I'll have like 5 or 6 of them in the living room, and they're all looking at their phones, not talking to each other. I said,
right.
You girls are all in the same room. Why don't we interact a little bit?
Yeah,
Go outside.
That's what's missing. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
They can't exist without the phone at all.
It's addictive.
Some are worse than others.
It's addictive. I actually, on my phone, you see I haven't touched this. We've been talking for an hour and a half. I haven't touched that. Usually on Sunday night, I will delete Facebook and Instagram off of my phone because I know that it's addictive. And, Monday through Friday, I have to work. I'm trying to do stuff with the kids. So I know if I have it on there, I'm going to be tempted to, you scroll and you start seeing pictures and you get wrapped up in it.
Well, the thing you have now with it, the social media stuff, and now you have kids in the schools that, because of the phones, they're threatening other kids. That is a problem. I saw a thing the other day where, this is unbelievable, a kid showed a kid slap the teacher in the face.
Oh my God.
In a classroom. There are kids in the class. Right? He walked up. Teacher's sitting in her chair. He goes, bam, he half. Then he hit her again and then left. But nobody in the classroom moved for that kid.
It's out of control.
But they said, that's the second time he's done that at a different school. How about the girl Virginia got raped?
Yeah.
And it's nothing done. Then he goes to another school and raped another girl in Virginia.
Yeah, society has gotten...
It's bad. It's bad. It's like even now with all the crime, it's all the same cities.
It's the same people a lot. Like statistically, violent crime is not committed by a lot of people. Right. It's like in New York City, I think they said like 300 or 400 people commit 5,000 crimes, right? It's not like, there's an epidemic in crime. Like, no, there's criminals that aren't being punished appropriately.
Did you see the one that got out? They didn't have enough room for him in the jail. He killed a woman.
And they just, He
got out. He's out walking down the street again. Oh, we don't have room for him. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Put him in a triple bunk. I don't care.
And then the kid, the kid that hit the teacher up here, right? Slapped the teacher in the face. He basically was put out of another school for that. But in Virginia, they had that. And the new governor went crazy, right? Said, he raped the girl in the class, right? The parents got in a fight with the cops, everything over that kid, right? So what happens is he transferred another school. He put him out finally put him out. He did it, so he got to go to school. They
just moved the problem, right?
Moved it, and basically another girl suffered because he did it.
Yeah. Where do you think this comes from, Bill? Like, where this like downfall of society?
Maybe social media. I have no idea where it's from, but nobody has respect for anybody. Nobody. And God bless you, say something to somebody. They may have a goddamn gun.
Yeah.
Even the schools. I mean, the parents, back then, I think, maybe more so when we were growing up, if you screwed up in school, you're in trouble at home.
Oh, yeah.
If you screw up, leave my kid alone. Well, then you got to do what he wants. But back then, my parents grew up, they fucking smack you.
Yeah, you were scared to come home and Dad was going to find out.
Yeah, no, they said no. They could come home and say, I got in trouble. They would go right back to school. And after the teacher. The teacher's wrong. No, parents are wrong. They blame them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't blame anybody else. It's your problem, deal with it.
Yeah.
But they won't do it. They won't do it. They ain't afraid. A lot of them are afraid of their parents. Because their friends won't give them this, they won't give them that.
Yeah. It's so complicated. I think, and who the heck knows what all the contributing factors are, but I think social media has got to be a part of it. I think, nobody, like you had talked about religion, like it's just not a big part of our society. Like we're becoming more atheistic and church attendance is down. The Catholic Church is down.
Oh, a lot.
So much of it has changed. So a lot of those things that would bring communities together are breaking apart.
Yep.
And we don't talk to each other anymore. We have all these images and quick comments, and you don't have like meaningful, long conversations. marriages aren't lasting, right? The divorce rate in the United States is like more than half the marriages don't work.
Yeah.
And it's probably a little bit of everything, right?
That's what it is. It's just the whole change. That's what you're afraid of, change like that. So we'll see. We'll handle it.
Yeah, what can you do, right?
Nothing.
It's like you do the best you can with what's in front of you.
Yeah, exactly right.
Think back on your life. Were there any pivotal moments, like moments that just changed the trajectory of your life?
No.
Any of those moments?
No, nothing. Both parents married. My dad passed away at 71. My mother passed away at 77.
Okay. So decent longevity.
Both worked.
Yeah.
I have never had a situation where I didn't have a job.
Yeah. Worked your never unemployed.
Yeah, no, never. I mean, the only times I retired, but even when I was teaching school, you had the summers off. But a lot of times in the summer, I would, like one time I was a lifeguard. I had maybe another job. I worked at the recreation department.
Yeah.
I worked at CLMP once for the summer.
Okay.
But I always had a job. Always. Never without a job. As soon as I got out of school, I got a teaching job.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, it is.
Work ethic is so important. And it's funny, you talked about Leah earlier not wanting to play basketball because of the job. So part of me is like, that's so responsible of her.
Yeah,
she bought her own Jeep. Yeah. And she doesn't even have a license, right?
Right. Today. She's good to go today.
Yeah. It's funny, not a lot of kids have that ambition, that drive. One of my very first job ever was at a batting cage in Lyndhurst.
Okay.
And I remember, I think I got $3 an hour or something, and I would come home with bruises on my ankles from all the ricochets, balls underneath.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't even old enough to drive. My mom would have to take me, drop me off at the batting cage, whatever. I'd work my 3-hour shift, get a $9 check. I started working from as soon as I got working papers. And then it's funny, my second job was a lifeguard job, so you talked about that.
I was a lifeguard.
Yeah.
I was a lifeguard. I did it at a pool, not in the ocean.
Yeah. Mine was terrible, too. It was indoors. It was in Belleville at this little community center indoor pool.
I taught swimming at Columbia High School's pool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's indoor, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know some guys with lifeguard jobs are on the beach and hanging out.
No.
And this was not one of those. This is like an inner city, inner pool. But it's important. Work is good. Generally, I'll speak for myself, but like idle time is not always good, right? I start to think too much and go down crazy places. So work is good for people. Good work ethic.
It's good. I mean, thank God Mark worked. John had a job.
Yeah.
They both had jobs. I mean, Mark was working in the pet store when he was 12 in Denville. But he's always had, even now with the pandemic, he didn't miss a day of work.
Yeah.
Because of what he does, they're necessities. The police department, the schools. That's what he worked on all summer. Or the pandemic, 2 years of that nonsense.
Any injuries? That's always an interesting. Like, what's the most physical pain you've ever been in? Any break bones or?
It's funny. I did it with. I was staying at Mark's house. I had black ice.
Oh God!
And I broke a fibula in my leg.
Oh really?
That's it. That was it. And I was in a boot for a while. I ended up. What's funny? I went back to work. I was on my way to work, right? And so what happened, the trash, I was just moving it, but it was black ice. And I did it, bam, right down like that. I didn't say anything. I went to work. I saw the trainers. I didn't tell anything to Jan. And I got home after a while. They stopped by at Mark's house. And I said, Mark, let me have my bag. I got my dirty clothes and I let bring them home. So I get home and I called the doctor. I said, wait, the problem is I fell my ankle. I went to the office over there for, so I called. No, you know what? I went to their satellite.
Okay.
St. Luke's. That's St. Luke's.
Okay.
St. Luke's. So I go over there. The guy said, wait a minute. You need to talk to your doctor. I have a guy here. I said, he looked at my foot. He wants to talk to you. That was our orthopedic guy we had. So I give you the phone. So the guy said, okay, have Mark stop by the office tomorrow. I have a boot for you to put on.
Was it a total fracture?
Yeah, it was right here, right in the fibula.
Yeah.
So I was in a boot for a while, yeah. But it was my own fault. It was ice and I slipped like that. Right down. Just being nice, try to put the trash can back.
It's usually something stupid like that.
That's what it was. That's what it was. So, no, but I just called them up. And then went, so Mark went, and there was a boot waiting in the office for me, for him. So he picked it up. So at least he's in Jersey City then, so he could get. Yeah. So no, he went and picked it up after work. So that was good.
That's good. So overall, you've had a pretty healthy life.
Yeah, so for this I got screwed up with that thing. Oh, you know that, right?
Yeah.
The pacemaker?
Yeah.
I've been lucky pretty much.
How old were you when you had the pacemaker?
Same time. I was 82. No, I wasn't 82 yet. I became 82 in April. That was February 5th.
Okay.
I had to put in.
So all of the medical issues have come more recently.
One time.
Yeah.
I went to see a dermatologist, right? And so I saw him. He's really, Aladonis, his name is. So I go to see him, and I said, look, Doc, I explained this to you. Take something off here. So I said, I need you to take this off from me. I said, oh, by the way, I said, this all started with you. I told him, right? I said, with you. I said, because there's a cancer here, my forearm, right? So I go and see him, right? So he cuts it like that. It was like January 2nd.
Yeah.
So he goes in and, he cuts it. They have to take it out and, got me stitches, shit like that, right? So it started with you. I said, it went from here to here to here.
It moved its way up.
It's all the way up to here. I said, it's all your fault because you started right here.
Melanoma, heart issues. Yeah.
Well, so he laughed. He laughed like hell, but at least the cancer wasn't serious. It was just a simple thing. So thank God for that. But
yeah, my the very first podcast I did, and it actually motivated me to get my shit together. Very good friend from childhood is sick.
Oh,
He's still with us, thank God, but he's currently got a stage 4 esophageal cancer.
My cousin Jackie Rice died from esophageal.
Esophageal, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When he got it, a friend of mine told me that's really bad. I didn't realize. I know there were ones that get it bad, but that one's supposed to be bad. But because of Jackie, he had that. And that's the one I was closest to.
Yeah.
I went to see him, when I was home. I stopped by the house and stuff like that. And then, I stopped in. His wife put sandwiches out. We had lunch, and I hugged him, and he said, I got the thing in there. So, but then, he passed away, so that's a shame.
Yeah.
But like that, we're like that.
Cancer is just a horrible thing, and I would hope that as a society, that's one of the things that we could figure out and cure within a lifetime or something. Yeah, so my dad died from cancer back in the 80s, and it wound up being lung cancer. But I sometimes I wonder, like, if he got sick today, what the treatment looks like, right? Like,
exactly right.
Come a long way.
Could be totally different.
Yeah.
Could be totally different.
And that's this guy, Mike, this friend of mine. Yeah. He was sick about 20 years ago, and they radiated the whole area, and it almost does more damage. You kill the cancer, but you kill all the good stuff too. Yeah. And today it's just much more precision treatment.
Thank God.
I know.
I mean, even me with this. I was sitting in there. I would stood up and I fell. Boom, right there. And I never had before. Never. Jan went and got the watch. We could check my heart rate. And she said, well, look at that. And then I went to see him, and they said that's what it was.
Yeah. Do you have a family history of heart issues, either of your parents?
I think both of them might have had it.
Yeah.
They might have had it, yeah. They didn't really say much what they had, but they might have had it.
Have you looked at health in terms of like fitness or diet or smoking or any of that? Like,
I never smoked. The diabetes, though, I got to actually more strict than I am. But my numbers, I had them 7.7. Then they went up a little bit since then. I'm back where I'm supposed to be. I think with not eating, no like Reese's cups,
no sugar,
all
try
not
stuff.
to. Whenever you got sugar in it, just about.
It's very hard.
It's almost impossible.
The U.S. food supply is not good.
No,
it's meant to make money.
Yeah, well, see, the big thing is like I used to get the same sandwich every day from Wegmans. It's a garlic lemon chicken on a whole wheat bread.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
With lettuce, tomato, and a garlic chicken. That's it. I get that basically every day.
That's great. The Wegmans is right here. I pass that coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, they raised it $1. The sandwich is smaller than it used to be. They raised it goddamn $1.
Inflation.
Yeah, inflation. Everything.
Yeah.
Like they had it where.
Do you still go to games? Do you still watch? I know you've got to watch.
I watch. Yeah, like I did a lot of. I went to mostly Liberty baseball games. And other than that, I enjoy watching them. Even now, like There's always a baseball game out there now. Most times it's the Phillies, which I don't care. They're pretty good, so I watch them. I'm a Yankee fan, been there all my life. So.
Do you want to keep going? Do you think we should wrap up?
That's good. Okay. Wrap up's good to me.
All right.
You want to do it again another time?
We could definitely let's do another one next year. Bill is showing me these, like, I don't know, what would you call them, like portfolios of just old photos and growing up with sports. And
exactly right. With support.
Yeah.
With support. That's the key.
Yeah, it's your mom was
no arguing about going to what game or you're playing again.
Yeah.
None of that. Not one time, because both of them like sports.
Yeah.
My father never said much about it. Realized that one time I saw a little clipping where he pitched. He never mentioned one word to me about that.
Yeah.
A pitcher in baseball in high school. Probably because my uncle was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
He thought, I'm not getting involved in that sports stuff.
Well, it sounds like they were present. And that's such an important part of parenting, is like being with your children, right? Supporting what they do.
They did, totally. Yeah. Totally. But if I didn't go to church, they'd be pretty goddamn mad. Even now, if they find you're not going, man, do I like? What do you mean I like?
Yeah. Doesn't count.
Yeah, but both of them. And so we did well, and I ended up going to Catholic college. And it was nice too, though. Like, they were paying for me to go, and then I ended up, after my freshman year, I got tuition for baseball. Then in the fall, I got tuition for basketball. So tuition was paid for.
Yeah.
So now I come down to just room and board. And one time I got a job up there. I had the car back. My father had cataract, so he had a surgery. So anyway, he couldn't drive, so I took the car back to school. Goddamn radiator went on me. The radiator went. I went back to school. The radiator got, I went to the cafeteria. I had enough money. Done. Quit. I didn't need any more money because they would send me money. But I didn't spend it because all was paid for.
Yeah.
So, with support. That's the key.
Yeah, it's your mom was.
No arguing about going to what game or you're playing again.
Yeah.
None of that. Not one time, because both of them like sports.
Yeah.
My father never said much about it. Realized that one time I saw a little clipping where he pitched. He never mentioned one word to me about that.
Yeah.
A pitcher in baseball in high school. Probably because my uncle was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
He thought, I'm not getting involved in that sports stuff.
Well, it sounds like they were present. And that's such an important part of parenting, is like being with your children, right? Supporting what they do.
They did, totally. Yeah. Totally. But if I didn't go to church, they'd be pretty goddamn mad. Even now, if they find you're not going, man, do I like? What do you mean I like?
Yeah. Doesn't count.
Yeah, but both of them. And so we did well, and I ended up going to Catholic college. And it was nice too, though. Like, they were paying for me to go, and then I ended up, after my freshman year, I got tuition for baseball. Then in the fall, I got tuition for basketball. So tuition was paid for.
Yeah. So
now I come down to just room and board. And one time I got a job up there. I had the car back. My father had cataract, so he had a surgery. So anyway, he couldn't drive, so I took the car back to school. Goddamn radiator went on me. The radiator went. I went back to school. The radiator got, I went to the cafeteria. I had enough money. Done. Quit. I didn't need any more money because they would send me money. But I didn't spend it because all was paid for.
Yeah. Bill and I broke for a restroom break, and I think I wore him out. So I just wanted to be sure that I said a proper goodbye and ended the podcast with a big thank you to Bill for taking the time. We just had a wonderful conversation with a lot of reflections on his friend and mentor, John Thompson, a lot of his memories of playing and coaching, family. So it was just a wonderful afternoon. I hope you all can take something from this conversation.